Hello everyone, April 11th, Warriors Den, welcome on the show. So today a couple of cool things to talk about. First, I'm going to give you some news about the responsive dialogue system, some in-game activity update. We're going to talk matchmaking with Jean-François Deschamps, who was on the show before. We're going to talk tournaments with Clarissa. She's going to make her first appearance on the couch. And we're going to end up with a community corner. And next week, we're moving the set to the bigger room. And it's going to be a much longer show with a lot of things to talk about. So I don't know how excited you are, but I am pretty excited, and I will not be. We are the 18th of April. Shit. My run-up show says the 11th. So we are the 18th of April. Yay, we just gained a week. So thank you. We are the 18th of April. I don't know why we messed that up. We missed that one. So April 18th. So next week, it's a big show. I don't know how excited you are. I might show you a little image at the end if you're nice. Alex will tell me how nice you are in the chat, and maybe we'll show a little image at the end. So let's go. So update on the responsive dialogue system. So again this morning, someone asked me on Twitter. We've seen some questions recently about that, or an update on the system. You might remember we did an early test before Marching Fire came out, where we tested that system. Based on the feedback in the early access, we had decided to put it on hold and evaluate the future of the feature. After taking the time to review it, we decided that the development time needed versus the impact on the gaming experience were simply not aligned. So our focus is instead being spent on upcoming seasons, events, and other features. So we'll continue to focus on improving your gameplay experience. So that is the news for the responsive dialogue system. I know you've been asking about that. So here you are, you have the update. So now, Arcade Weekly Quest. So this week is the Hunting of Dead Shades. Strange cases have arisen in Dead Shades. Warriors mass murdering people. Leaders slaughtering their own troops. You have been sent to investigate and stop these felons. You see, it's a lot of joy. Murderers, slaughtering. So a lot of joy in this weekly quest. We also have a new event this week, the Breach Warrior Challenge. So you have to be the faction with the most Breach match completed. It's starting April 19, so that's tomorrow because we are April 18. And it's up until April 22nd. So that is going to go over for the weekend, for Easter weekend. Content of the week. I know it came out this morning. We saw, I was talking with someone on the team this morning, and that people are super excited about what they're seeing. So it's executions. 7,000 steals for all heroes. So Max, let's roll that awesome video. I told you it was an awesome video. Actually, one of the time where we should have had like the sound of the studio here. Yeah. And hearing me saying, ah, oh, ouch.
Luke was in it. It was amazing.
Oh, yeah. I love when the Aramusha and poof, he explodes. I love that shit. Seriously, we need to talk with the people doing that because, yeah,
they're
questionable.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So we have JF Deschamps with us today, Jean-François. So let's call him JF.
It's a lot easier.
A lot easier.
It's a lot easier.
So JF, associate producer on the project. Jeff, we know you because you came on the show to talk about the servers back in the day.
Yeah, it's been quite a while now.
Yes, because it's been going on for over a year. We forgot about that, but we've actually had more times with the server than without the server.
That is true. That is
so
true.
That's significant.
It is. It is.
And last season, at the end of the last season, you came in, or before this current season, depending on when to see it, to talk about matchmaking. And we're doing an update. So now you're coming back to
give another update.
An update on the update.
Yeah, so let's just refresh the first update so then we can move on after that. So basically, at the beginning of Season 9, what we wanted to do, or E3 Season 1, which is easier to say, we wanted to change the way matchmaking worked from using the win-loss and the bounty score of the players to define how it will change itself to win-loss only, because we thought that it would have a better impact in terms of how people will be placed in the current level of matchmaking rating.
Okay, and what was the impact for that?
Well, unfortunately, it had a side effect we did not foresee back then, which is it took a lot longer for people rating to stabilize itself.
Okay.
What we noticed is the bounty score bring another level of clarity on your performance, because it's not only like 1 or 2, so win or loss, but also where you rank in the match itself.
Okay.
So that will help players to stabilize really quickly in the bracket their skills was really in. We can make a kind of a parallel with placement matches and ranking. So when you do placement matches, the systems try to figure out where you are, then you figure it out, and then after that you move on. So this is kind of the same type of systems. Because it took a lot more time, people were considered into like trying to figure out their MMR for weeks on ends, which created matches with a quality a lot lower than before, unfortunately. Which is not something we wanted, and obviously the impact is not the one we wanted either. So for season 2 of this year, what we want to do is to first revert back to the old systems, because it was behaving a lot better.
Okay.
So first, let's go back there. It was a better starting ground. And in season 1, what we test as well, because we couldn't get into that too, we did some tests about matchmaking, like how we change the parameters and how people are ranked. We did 4 tests overall, and we figured out one that is a lot better than the other. So we want to revert to the old systems and use the configuration we had in that test too.
Okay.
So we run some simulations with our data analyst here, and we figure out that the matchmaking will go back to technically a level of quality higher than what it was in the first season of this year.
Okay.
So technically a lot higher than what we have today.
Okay. So it's a full positive for the player. That's what we expect.
It is. Yes, that's what we expect. We're going to monitor that really quickly. We should be able to have data on that for in the first days of this season.
Okay.
And then after that, we're going to try to readjust again to push it as high as we can.
Okay. And this change will happen at the beginning of
next seasons. We're going to do that. We're going to push that change. We're going to reset the MMR of the player as well, because right now the MMR, as I said at the beginning, are kind of all over the place, and they don't represent really the skill set of the players. So we're going to restart that. The new systems will make it that it will stabilize in a matter of days, and after that, people will have a lot better experience.
Great.
That's the goal for next season.
Cool. So anything else to share on matchmaking?
That's pretty much it for now. That's our goal, and we'll see what the result we get with our next steps, because we're not going to stop there. Matchmaking is a topic we work on a daily basis.
The game has been running for 2 years now, and we're still
making on it, and we're trying to make it as best as we can. So we're going to have more news later. But first,
for me, it's what I was saying in the opening of the show. It's like we want to spend our time where we can truly impact the global experience, and matchmaking is one of the area where it's worth it to spend time to analyze, make changes, do some tests.
Definitely.
So it's a good sign.
And every time we do a changes, you are all pretty vocal about it. So definitely it has an impact on everyone.
Yeah, usually we hear about it. If it doesn't make sense, we do read Reddit.
Yeah. So that's it. That's it for matchmaking.
Cool. Thank you very much, JF.
My pleasure.
And we're going to be right back and talk about tournaments. And we are back with Clarissa Armada, that you know, she's been organizing tournaments for a long time on For Honor, but she's now part of the For Honor team. So she moved from New York to Montreal. Lucky for you, winter is over.
Oh, I got very lucky. It's still pretty cold, but you know, the weather's
for
getting
us,
better.
It's not cold actually. I'm going swimming
This
this
is
weekend.
cold for me,
I know,
but
I know.
it's okay.
So you're settling in okay?
Yeah,
Montreal's treating
everything
you
is
well?
great. It's very nice. It reminds me of New York just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Everyone's nicer though.
Okay.
So.
Good. So as I mentioned in previous shows, that you're joining us to work on a competitive aspect, and one of the big goals is to give much more visibility, more support to people organizing tournaments, and you've done that for a long time, so you know, like, support is always welcome. So instead of me just reading things, and this time I won't be the one screwing up time difference. So I'm passing the puck to Clarissa. So we're gonna go over some tournaments that happened last week.
Yes.
Starting with the For Honor Ultimate Lounge Championship Grand Finals that was last Friday in France.
Yes, that one was on PS4. The cool thing about this tournament was it was with the two teams. I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Lunaris.
Yeah, that's good.
Vicunet? Well, Lunaris and Deserters. And the cool thing about this is it's not just one mode. They used 3 different modes. They first played on Breach, then Dominion, and then Elimination.
So they did a matchup of all them different modes. That's cool.
Yes, so it's similar to how Call of Duty do their esports scene. So what was really interesting was seeing the characters that they chose. So the first mode was Breach, and so the attackers, which was Lunaris, they used Jang Jun, Nobushi, Kensei, and Black Prior, and then Deserters also used Jang Jun, Shaolin, Shugoki, and Raider. And it's really interesting just because we don't really see a lot of tournaments for Breach mode, but when I was watching the stream, it seemed like the attackers were going to win, considering they had a lot of tickets.
Right? Yeah.
They had a lot of tickets. They were pushing all the way to the second phase. They almost made it to the last phase, but they lost because their RAM got destroyed.
Ah, they didn't pay enough attention.
It was actually really, really close. I was like, oh my gosh, this is really intense. So that was really cool. The Deserters won the first round.
So if they had managed to break the second gate, then no more rounds. So
yeah, then they
would
can
have
just go
came in
straight.
with a lot of
It would have been
tickets,
better.
and
Yeah, it was
they would have
very
probably
cool.
won.
Yeah. So then after that, they went to Dominion mode, which is everyone's favorite. Well, my favorite at least. And the cool thing is they both stay as attackers defenders. So Lunaris stayed as attackers and Deserters stayed as defenders. This time their characters changed. They still use Jang Jun because Jang Jun's really, really good with their win rates. Conqueror, Raider, and Shinobi. Deserters use Jang Jun, Shaolin, Shugoki, and Raider. So it is the same characters as the last one. This one is more simple than Breach just because there's less objectives going on. But it's really interesting because when it comes to Dominion tournaments, or at least Dominion in general, it's more than just capturing points and then team fights. You do have to have some sort of rotation going on. And basically, the other team, Lunaris, won just because they had a better synergy with each other. They did focus more on objectives, which is capturing the points. And the cool thing is, yeah, it was just really interesting how Breach, Deserters won, but then Dominion, Lunaris won.
And
So-
it ended up in elimination for the last mode.
Yeah, so elimination. And interesting enough is they were very honorable. So it wasn't just everyone coming together and fighting whatever, like 2v1 situation. Everyone just fought one person. And if there was 2 people left on each team, they played it on Temple Garden. So they actually went to one of the respawns, the respawn area, and they would group up together before actually fighting. So it was really, really nice to see that they were very respectful. I don't know if that was part of the rules or not, but
Because the rules were in French.
yeah. But you know, at least for the PC community, a lot of people prefer having non-honorable duels. So just going in just for the win, doing whatever you can, ganking, 2v1s, etc. So at the end, the Lunaris team won with 2-1. So You can watch the VOD on twitch.tv Taekujo, Taekewjo, if you are interested in figuring out how they did it.
So congrats, Lunaris. Bravo. So moving on to another tournament. It was on Saturday last week, Messiah's 2v2 tournament on PC.
Yes, I think this one was hosted by Aggressive Turtles.
Oh yeah, the Aggressive Turtles. I don't know if they have a logo. If you do, man, send it to me.
Yeah, show it to
I
us.
want to see the Aggressive Turtles. That must be so fun.
Yeah, so the prize for this one was 1 free sub to any Twitch streamer and bragging rights. 4 teams participated. This one was on PC, and they had real brawls, as some people would call it. So they weren't honorable.
Okay.
They just did your classic 2v2 kind of situation. First place was Aggressive Turtles, which is Toxic Omen and John Ono. They use Nobushi and Black Prior. Second place is Prune Gang, which is Daddy Papa Thick and Zimiger.
Daddy Papa Tick.
Yeah, thick with 2 C's.
I love the originality of it.
Yeah, they used Raider and Warden. Raider, which is really interesting because, at least from my experience, we don't really see Raiders in these types of matchups for 2v2s. So, congrats. And extra shout out to the other 2 teams, which is Comatose, who used Raider Zerker, and Extra Thick, who used Highlander and Shinobi.
And is it possible to watch the VOD of that tournament as well?
You can also watch the VOD for that video on twitch.tv/III_Messiah_III.
Cool. So moving on to POTS TV's Brawl style 3v3 clash on PC, which was also on Saturday.
Yes, so this one's really interesting because I don't think anyone has done it before. There were talks about people doing it, but no one actually made the push. So POTS TV is actually a streamer. He regularly streams For Honor. And basically the mode is Brawl, so 2v2, except this time they're adding a 3rd player, which is really interesting because it adds a little bit more of complexity. So now you don't have to worry about 1 teammate, but you have to worry about 2 teammates. And the cool thing about Brawls, or at least in this kind of situation, is it's all about positioning and of course the characters that you use. So there were 10 teams that participated.
That's good.
There was a $90 prize plus donations. I don't know if they had donations, but I'm sure they have. And it was played on the Shard. So the first place was Hotspot Gaming, which you'll hear a lot on the streams when we talk about more tournaments. It's that team is Silencer, Autodogs, and Barkeet. They used Shinobi, Jangjun, and Zerker. Second place is Got No Clue, which is Bubbly. I'm pretty sure that's Itachi. Mankey and Young Coconut. They also used Shinobi, JJ, and Black Prior. Watching the tournament was very interesting, like I said. These people are very experienced with 2v2 situations, so it was interesting to see how 3v3s does change it a little bit. Like, it was pretty much scrambly at first, but it was really cool to see how they adapted and changed their strategy. Mostly with Shinobi because he has a range guard break, so he's always like outside compared to everyone else, and just trying to find openings and all of that kind of stuff.
One thing I noticed, and we talked about that this morning when we were preparing the segment, like Messiah was on Temple Garden, POTS TV on the Shard, and you were telling me like, yeah, maybe people, like when people organize tournaments, they have specific rules with maps. Maps are banned, heroes are banned.
Yep.
So maybe before going on to the arena tournament, maybe you can tell us a little bit more how those things go.
Yeah, so at least from my experience for 2v2 situations or any sort of brawl or duels, winners are usually character locked, or they're starting to be character locked, only because it kind of makes sense that you shouldn't be able to change your character if you won, and it does give the losers a chance to adapt and see how well they can do it. This is also a common rule in the fighting game community, so at least when I changed it for my tournament, I was just trying to follow that. So also for Dominion tournaments, which we will be talking once we go over the arena, we have character bans, so each team bans 1 character. And sometimes there are map bans. But for this tournament, at least, there was no map ban.
Okay.
But Revenge was off.
Okay.
Usually for duels and brawls, Revenge is off. And Dominion's usually on, but for this time, it was off.
So it's a bit different than if you play like normal matchmaking with your just a random game on a Friday evening. Like tournaments, they have certain rules like that, and it's custom match, so you can custom all those things. Thank you. So moving on to the arena, the 4v4 Dominion tournament on PC, which was on Sunday.
Oof. I have a lot to say about this tournament. It was really cool. First, there's only 5 teams that participated. It is 100% donations. I don't know how much they ended up getting, but let us know. So I'll talk a little bit about their format because they do run weekly tournaments. They're not having any this upcoming weekend because it is Easter weekend. But how it works is their first game map is on Citadel Gate, and then each team bans 1 character.
Okay.
So, for example, the first match that I have on here, which is Spednish versus UDDA, they banned Nobu and Shinobi. Sorry. I was going to get it mixed up, so I was like, oh. So after that, it's really interesting to see how their compositions change. It kind of also shows that people do have to play more than one hero. But other than that, so if after the first game, the losers would then pick, I believe, the map. Yeah, so the losers would pick the next map, and then the winner would ban the first hero.
Okay.
So it was really cool. UDDA, Spednish, and Hotspot Gaming are the 3 teams that usually come off the top.
Yeah, there's some familiar names in there.
Yeah, they do. So
I recognize.
Yeah. So I think here we have first place was Spednish. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's just mad weird.
Don't
oh
feel
my God.
like, you know how many times I pronounce things on the wrong way here? So it's normal. Like sometimes you come up with those fucked up names and we don't know how to pronounce them.
Yeah, it's okay. And that one is Bubbly Ravelord Servant.
We know Revlord is from
Yeah, he's
here.
from Canada.
Yeah.
And he's been on our Ubisoft tournaments before.
Yeah. Came to the
Young
studio
Coconut
before.
and 2 Kawaii for you. Congratulations. Second place is UDDA. I think that is.
I know all those names.
I think their name is Ultimate Dedicated Digital Athletes. So not UDA, but UDDA. This one is Clutchmeister, Setmix, Zero Crack, and Presmo.
We know them.
Oh yeah.
Hello, friends.
Yeah, so it's really interesting because, we all know and love UDA, and we know that they have been winning tournaments. But I think because they have a new team now, it's not the same team as earlier before. They're going through, finding their synergy together and just like experimenting with different characters. So there's actually no losers finals because Hotspot Gaming, which came in 3rd place, they forfeited after losing 2 games in winners finals. And winners finals end on their best of 5 games, so you have to win 3 matches. So they lost 2, then they forfeited the whole match. And so even though UDDA was knocked down by Sped in, I believe, the semifinals, they made a run back to grand finals, but no losers finals because they were supposed to fight Hotspot Gaming, but they forfeited. There's actually something very, very interesting that happened in their first match in the semifinals, which we'll show you guys in the highlights videos. But it actually got really close. Also, I'll talk about it because it's very, very small in the highlight video. So the first game, it was down to 1v1 because they both were breaking, and it was, I believe it was a Shinobi, no. But it was Crack and someone else, I forgot the other person, and they were basically having a ladder fight. So, so they were going up, well, Crack was going up the ladder, and he got knocked down a little bit first, and then Clutch was like, just punch him when you're going up the ladder. So, it was Ravelord, I believe. So Ravelord was gonna come down and knock him off, and the timer was like at 1 second, and then Crack punches him, and he falls, and he dies, and UDDA wins. So it was very interesting, and you would think that like that kind of thing would break the team's morale, but Spednish won the next 2 games and they advanced. So
they regrouped and they came back
very
stronger.
nice. It was a good job. it was nice.
Do we have any other tournament before we show the highlight video? Any other tournament that happened last week, or we can show the video from the
No,
arena?
that was basically it. So
Cool. So let's watch this video, this highlight video. Cool. And we saw Clutch reactions
right.
when Craig punched him. He was like, oh, I wonder what happened. Clutch 1 point. He didn't have his shades on. I don't know. His aviator.
He has a thing where if he's like in the grand finals or if he's in a very intense tournament, he takes them off to show that he's very serious.
Oh. Okay. So any upcoming tournaments?
We have 2 upcoming tournaments to this upcoming weekend. Epic Gaming Esports is presenting a 2v2 tournament. It is on Xbox. It will be this Saturday at 2 p.m. EDT. The prize is $100 to the winning team. And the rules, they're standard rules, your standard 2v2 brawl rules. You can contact EG Sugar Panda, but you can also just go on battlefy.com, search for Honor Tournaments. It'll be up there. And I believe the subreddit will also post the link. They usually post the link, direct link for the Battlefy tournament.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah, and then the other one, which I found out today, they just changed their time. The Pit is also hosting a 2v2 team clash, also on Xbox, on Wednesday, April 24th at 7 p.m. EDT. They have one for EU and one for NA, so they're not mixed. The prize is titles as champs and recognition, so I'm assuming bragging rights. And you can contact Mo Zeus. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. He is a streamer on Mixer, so this one will be streamed on Mixer, not Twitch. But that would be fun. So we'll see these two, how they go. And obviously, you know, if you have tournaments, clips, highlights of any of the tournaments that you run, you can send them to our email, which is forhonortournaments@ubisoft.com. There are no spaces, no underlines.
It's all in one word.
And there's an S at the end of tournaments.
Yeah, For Honor Tournaments.
Yep.
So that's it?
Yeah, that is
Cool. Cool. Thank you, Clarissa. That was very informative. And you see, I love doing that. So this way we can go back on the tournaments that happen. So let us know what's happening. I was really happy to receive the video from the arena this week. So I've been begging for weeks to have that. We got one, so there'll be more in the upcoming weeks. So before cutting to the community corner, I think the words is that you've been nice on the chat. So we are going to give you a little sneak peek, a little tease of what's to come next week. Oh, what is that? I wonder. Ooh, you have to wait. Okay, Max, cut it up. Cut it up. That's it. That's it. You won't see more. So let's go to the community corner now. So we are back for the community corner, and I'm all by myself. So first video of the week from El Euphoria. For Honor Against the Odds, number 59, 4v1 Breach Massacre. So our next video comes from Spingfire. Get off my point.
Eén soort lechter, guilty.
Bye bye. So third video from Dreadeth. May the force be with you.
Victory.
What? What happened there? He threw him out. So next one from Stelios, the Lawbringer, the Ice Brawler Experience.
You were in a big fat hurry to die, son.
Interesting. So fifth one from Long Dong of the Law, when Shaman sees a bleeding opponent. Shit, I would have nightmare now. So next one from Bit Fatcal. Oh, how the turns have tabled.
Incontinent. Victory!
Nice. You're almost dead over there. So next one from Blacklight 287. Press F for honor.
Round 6. NANI?! お前はもう死んでいる。
If my daughter would sing that, she would say, when you try your best, but you don't succeed. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube about that. She's 12 and she loves that. So from Battle Pro 3, for honor, we need a hero. So Maxi was happy because I was dancing. So from Smart Joker 99, no teammates, new objectives, stall the enemies.
You cannot miss me!
Pretty good. Congrats, man. So now with the new execution, you can blow them up. With now average Joe 85, we all start at rep 0. Nobody is born cool. Wow.
The final straw was when I was a door-to-door salesman.
Yeah, can I help you?
Yes, good sir. Have you heard of...
Ah, say no more. I just ordered 10,000 from that guy.
It was right then that I decided to end my boring existence.
So whatever happened to Kyle?
Let's just say Kyle is no longer a problem. Look, the point I'm trying to make is nobody is born cool. Except, of course, Spud Lee, you have to learn to be cool. So stick with me and I'll teach you everything I know.
I didn't see that video. Oh, I love that. No, oh boy. I should watch those before. Next one, we have 3 left. 3. From Alpha Tengi, For Honor, the musical. I imagine being on Broadway and seeing For Honor the musical, a festival of executions. That would be great. Next video from Senior Stupid. For Honor is the best. Yeah. We are almost done, one video left, but before, I want to thank you very much for being with us today for this Warriors Den on April 18th and not 11th. And be ready, because next week, ladies and gentlemen, it's our big reveal stream. A lot of friends with us on the couches, and it's going to be much longer. We're going to have a lot of fun. So have a good week, everyone. And I'll leave you with Prince Yazuke, Know Yourself, a Jang Jun montage. Have a good week, everyone. Bye-bye.